about Luka, man. He talking about these old ass niggas in college. Man. League players, man. Congratulations, man. 25, 26 in college. Man. Where's Luka at?
We're going to.
Same age, right? 25.
He is of a similar age, 26 years old. We're going to talk about a team the Lakers will have no problem disposing of in the playoffs. So there is a correlation there. So.
Hey man, don't smoke the hookah and the cigar.
Kelsey Plum cigar.
And the champagne. And I think somebody threw some shots up in there.
Kelsey Plum says she will come to the arena once Brandon stops ducking her fade, pulls up to open run. So we're going to talk a little.
J.R. Henny. Hey, is there Henny in here for J.R. Smith?
Please do not give.
Give me the Henny.
Do not give this 125 Pacific.
So me and Swiss had this conversation the other day, right? So when they said the thing about Adrian Broner taking the money from the NBA players shoot dice, they used J.R. picture. He was in the picture with it. J.R. was like, and I don't even shoot dice, right? I hit him like, damn, Swiss. He said, I don't even shoot dice, right? And he said, he don't even drink Hennessy. That's the thing, right?
They call him the Henny guy.
Yeah, he the Henny guy and don't even drink Hennessy. He like, yo,
Oh, no, the Henny guy don't drink Henny.
But
he don't drink Henny.
I learned that in my film Memes and Nightmares, currently streaming on Hulu.
He want Henny.
I take it.
He wants some Henny.
Don't do it.
Yes,
it ain't 126 yet.
Give him some Hennessy. That's enough.
For the chat, Laker Nation, we celebrating early. Michael, Calvin.
Shout out to Andrew. Andrew in the chat said, Agent, zero tolerance.
Booyah. This is a shot. This is a shot for
Good job, Andrew.
Shot for Laker Nation winning the chip.
We did win a 2020 chip, 2025 on the way, 2 parades.
Oh, he took that like a champ. He liked that. He ain't no face or nothing.
Gil been acting different.
That's why him and Nick are best friends. They Hennessy boys.
So let's talk. It's not Luka, but it's close. It's close. A player who's just beneath him in terms of talent.
LeBron.
Below that, but still talented. They had a similar game recently.
Austin Reeves?
No.
Rui.
No, Gil, we're not.
Gay.
We are going to go up north a little bit to the Bay. So after Steph Curry had a rough game against the Houston Rockets, Draymond Green and Baron Davis went on their podcast, had an interesting conversation about the way Steph is officiated, then brought it back to a larger point about selling calls. Let's take a listen.
Jimmy Butler mentioned Steph Curry. I've never seen an individual get fouled more than he gets fouled. And one thing I found interesting was most of it is off the ball.
Yeah, they fear Steph just as much off the ball, if not more, than they do on him. He's always being grabbed and held off the ball because you don't want to get a step beyond, so everybody just grab and hold him. You know, as soon as he take off, if you're a half a step off his body, it creates a domino effect because all he needs is a half an inch to get the shot off, and it's a great look.
Yeah, my goal for Steph in the playoffs is 10 free throws a game.
He should get 10 free throws a game. He earns it, that's for sure.
When I watch the game, he get bumped, held, grabbed, pushed on his mark more than any shooter that I've ever seen.
He don't talk to the referees, and he gets penalized for that. I also think he gets penalized because he's not a flopper. And so it's almost as if, oh, he not getting fouled, or it don't matter because he ain't showing that he getting fouled. I think in this league, we reward flopping. We put a flopping rule in that you never see get called. But we reward flopping and flailing, and Steph does neither. It doesn't really hurt him because he still do what he do, but it hurts him as far as getting the call and getting to the free throw line because he don't flop and he don't sell the call.
So to add some context to Draymond's point about flopping, only 6 players have been fined for flopping this season. The fines are $2,000 a pop. So is flopping rewarded in the NBA?
That's this season that we're speaking of.
I'm gonna have to say double.
How many? 6 players.
Because they don't, it ain't a fucking thing, man. There's way more dudes should be fined for flopping. I watch a lot of fucking basketball, and it happens all the time, right?
Yeah, 6 a game,
so
at least.
I have a question. How many times have Luka and LeBron been fucking fined for flopping?
Both.
No, I'm just saying because they do it.
Yeah, I know.
Ethical players.
No, they can be that as well, but they still flop.
Man, NBA ain't taking LeBron money.
They not. So, but my thing is, it's a thing. Steph probably plays through it. He probably doesn't complain about it. Cool and all that, but You do all that movement, you're gonna get held. You're gonna get like that's. Like,
I was about to ask. I'm just saying, like, I got a question to ask
so,
you. What's the defense
you do all
for
that
a nigga that can literally run around the big man? How do I follow him?
I'm gonna grab you, hold you, bump you, trip
I need you to hit him.
Oh, listen, he lucky it ain't our day.
He's just running.
He lucky it ain't his old chucking day where we can really chuck.
Damn, man, how are you supposed to guard that?
I lost this, bro. I don't even. Man.
Please stop eating popcorn.
Give some popcorn, please. We didn't have to eat it off.
I do got Brad back though.
No, nobody stepped there.
That's not sanitary.
Yeah.
I
That's
do
the only way
have
you can
Bradley
guard.
and Bill back.
He's great.
But look, how do we guard Reggie?
Same thing.
How do we guard Allen Houston?
Same damn.
How do we guard Hamilton?
Yes.
Hold.
We had to hold. We had to be physical.
You better.
And he had to figure out the way to get us off him.
You better.
To get a clean look.
He better start flopping. Fall down, scream.
It's gonna be so
that's
hard.
what they used to do.
Like they have their
Everybody
full
roster.
roster.
He's foul. You got the foul step to stop him.
Yes.
When y'all can set legal screens to get him open.
Yeah.
And I'm missing
You
the
can set
best
legal
player in
screens to
NBA
get him
history.
open. We can't foul to stop him from getting.
See, Draymond and BD, I hear you. He's benefiting from this day and age, trust me, freedom of movement. The league benefits Steph Curry.
There's no defense to stop him from just running around.
Before they put freedom of movement in, good luck.
He thought twice about going
You
down
would
there.
have absolutely
That's the
coming off this
grinder.
pin down.
That's the grind. I'm not going down there with him.
Try to come off this double.
No. One other way.
You're going to have to go out the other
Every
side.
time. I'm going this way.
Yeah, least resistance.
Man.
Taking the path of least resistance.
He's going to hit me. Coach, I know he's going to hit me. No. As a matter of fact, draw it up. Not Kenyon's side. Whoever guys Kenyon's guarding, you're on this side. Because he's not going to hit me.
Because more than likely, I'm going to try to switch it out. And you run up, I'm definitely going to bump you. So, could he shoot more free throws? Probably. But that's the only way you can guard it. You can't. You have to grab. You have to hold.
Make him a driver. You have to make him a driver. Crowd his face. Make him a driver.
I think before the ball. I guess.
Good shit, Ryan.
I read something about.
Do you work early? Is what they say, right?
I read something about fouls. They said if they actually called every foul that is actually in the NBA game, they would never finish the game. All the players would be fouled out.
Yeah.
So they said they don't call at least 75 to 50-something% of the actual fouls just so there can be a game.
Because by rule, but if you're going by the rule book, technically what a foul is, you're never going to get the ball up the floor.
Yep.
Technically, against certain teams, because every touch, every push, every is a foul. When a guy has an active dribble, I put my hands on you when you facing. It's a foul. Today in day and age, freedom of movement. I try to move, you stop. Foul. I try to go post up, you bump. Foul. I got the ball in the post, you reach it. Foul. Everything is a foul. It's the only way to play the game. So those that complain about it, deal with it. Like it's a part of it. They're not gonna. They can't. Like Gil point. They can't call it all.
And this is why foul baiting shouldn't be frowned upon. If you know that the refs are going to the game not trying to call all the fouls, and they're only trying to call at least 25%. If you're a guy who's so aggressive, right, you have to make it seem like you're getting hit. Because you know normally the ref is not going to call it because he don't want to call it. So if Giannis can average fucking 40 free throws, because every time he drives, it's a foul. Jokic, every time he drives, it's a foul. There's no one stopping him. He's getting hit every single time. You can see the motherfucker. He start off white, he finishes red. Right? You know what I mean? Like he really finishes red. You got the scars over here. So if we went by the rule and the technicality of the game, they're gonna foul out everyone. I watched Shaq. We fouled the motherfucker every time. He only took 10 free throws. We fouled him 60 free throws worth. But you know the foul. I was there with Dwight Howard. I seen this motherfucker getting punched, pushed, knee in his ass like you. No balls. You seen all that?
No pause on it?
Yes.
Or full pause?
Resume.
Either way.
You said
Depends.
no.
Either way.
You said no pause?
Yeah.
Yeah. Knee kick. Yeah. I don't know. I'm drunk.
He's drunk.
And that's fine.
How you gonna say no?
I was trying to say
Same
pause.
damn time.
I was trying to say pause, but I
He's
said no
drunk and high.
pause.
No
Same
pause
damn
means yeah, it's gay. Yeah.
I was trying to say no pause.
Let's
pause.
keep it moving.
I
Let's
meant
keep it
no
moving.
Knee in the ass. I meant it.
I meant it. Yeah, I meant that shit. Yeah. No pause. With a grunt.
Like, that's some fucking bullshit, bro.
But I watched him get fouled like crazy, and the ref is like, I'm not calling all these fouls, man. So, so the guys who get hit a lot, they're not. Like, so Steph, like, let's be honest. If you're guarding him, you're fouling him off the ball. The ref is not going to call it, because if they did, man, there wouldn't be no basketball game.
This is the softest era that we've had in basketball.
The softest era?
When we play 21, right? You got to call your own fouls. You know that one dude that's in the gym calling every single fucking foul. We can't even fucking get up and down the court because he want to call ball, right? But everybody in the gym know, and we don't play like this. Whose man's is this? Whose man? Who brought him?
Who invited him?
Who brought him? He's fucking the game up. Because we don't play like this. We trying to get a run. It's called bump. We trying to bump. So we all know it. You call your foul because it's obvious. Obvious foul. Got him up. You got to foul me. Boom. Check up. Ball up top. Everything else, man, we learn how to not call fouls. We know it. We got to play hard. Man, that ain't a foul. You got to foul me hard.
I'm going to say Magic's the only exception. Oh, Magic Johnson ass nigga.
You got to make
playing up at UCLA, motherfucker. Magic the only exception. The only motherfucker never lose a game at UCLA. Ball. Hey, ball. Always. Listen. Every drop, by.
It's where
Turn
you
on
from.
fire.
I seen them get ripped clean.
Some
random dude just ripped him clean. Nah, ball.
Nobody, right? Yeah, he ain't gonna let all
He just boop, got him. Everybody just like, ooh.
And you know you getting fouled, But you ain't got to, we know it, you can complain when it's obvious, when it's like, God damn, ref, what's up? What we doing? I ain't asking for no fouls, but shit, give me the ones that I need. I'm going to play through everything else.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If they're going into the game knowing that they're only going to really call 25% of the fouls, you have to make the foul seem like you're really getting hit.
But even at 25, it should be lower than that, because you're saying, like, if we're not calling 75, 80% of the calls just because we'll slow the game down and there's that many fouls, let's just call the obvious ones. Let's just call the obvious travels, the obvious fouls, the hard fouls. Everything else is play hard, bro.
Yeah, that's
all that bumping and like we used to do with the Ray out. When did they have to bump Ray out, man?
But
he's running around.
But that's what I'm saying. So if I'm getting bumped, that's why I'm going to oversell it.
Yeah, he has to. He needs to.
I got it. But I'm saying, so now you're talking about a Ray Allen, a Clay, a Steph, Trey Young.
But if you
Brunson, those small guys, I got it.
Perfected what Steph should be doing.
Yeah.
But if you oversell
All in the fuck out.
if you're overselling it and it don't work, it's a busted play.
But you gotta remember, let's say.
But now you're acting.
No, what I'm saying, let's say you're guarding me a whole game, and I done faked it 20 motherfucking times, and they only called it 3 times. That's motherfucking 3 fouls on you.
Yeah.
That's important to the game.
Yeah, but
because now you ain't guarding me
but
good.
Look, it's how you got those 3 fouls. It's almost like you and the ref are colluding on something I have no knowledge of. It's like, oh, this, I have to guard it like this, and you're knowing you're gonna call it, and he knowing you're gonna call it. I don't know what you're gonna do, because I'm trying to guard it the best way I can. You're manipulating what it looks like. It's not even a foul. You're making it look like a foul.
See,
that
advantage
goes to the offense.
No, but think about it.
The offensive advantage.
No, but technically 17 possessions, they didn't call it. Okay. But I don't have to worry about 17 possessions because you only have 6 fouls.
But that's a lot of possessions.
Yes, that's a lot of possessions. I fucked off.
Yes.
But all I need is you to get 2 fouls in the first quarter, and I ain't got to see your ass until halftime.
But I'm saying
for a smart coach,
17 fuck-off possessions could have been real possessions that you actually got buckets on based on not trying to fake to get the foul and just going to get your shit.
But it's more important. But okay, as an offensive player, right? Let's say I'm guarding. You guys are guarding me, right? If you guys are the best defenders on the team, I don't want you in the last 5 minutes.
Of course.
Because that means you motherfuckers is dictating the results, right? So the first 3 quarters, I'm trying to figure out how to manipulate the referees on you two motherfuckers that's fouling.
But you don't have
So
to
you guarding me, you over, I'm going to be doing this, he comes off and he hard shows, I'm going to pretend. Like, I need to get you guys in trouble.
Not manipulation, though, because you already
For me, it's manipulating.
You're already good enough to get in front of Kenyon in the pick and roll and to stop. He got to either run you over, get that. That's not a bait foul to me.
But I don't want regular offense at this point. I want fouls on him.
So your fouls are going to come within the
offense. No.
If you pick and roll, what you going to do in the pick and roll to get him in foul trouble?
I'm going to come off hard. He hopefully hard shows and I get hit.
All right, he switches.
Then I'm going to try to sit here. As soon as he do one of these, I'm going to sit there and do this shit all the time.
No, I'm saying he's switching up on you at the top of the key now. Pick and roll. Is it 1-4 flat? What is it?
I'm trying to get fouled.
That's what I'm saying.
What
kind of foul
like
Lou
Will. What I'm saying is I'm not actually worried about scoring. Let's say we're on a fast break and I have a fast break and he's trailing me. I'm purposely, like if I know he got 2 fouls in the first, I'm purposely going to slow down and get the hit.
Of course.
When I can just go up and dunk it, I want him to get a start. I don't want him in the fourth quarter.
What I'm asking you is, you got him at the top of the key, one-on-one, he got 2 fouls. How are you going to get this foul on him?
I want him to close the distance. So he knows what I'm saying is I'm just idling the first, so like I know he's going to try to give me distance. I don't want to shoot a jump shot. So I don't want to back him up. So I'm not going to load up and run at him.
What does he know?
Not the foul.
Not the foul.
So I'm going to try to get close. I'm going to just go in and then try to get as close as possible, right? So when I start driving and he do one of these, I can do one of those. So that's what I said. I'm purposely, fuck the score. I want the third foul, just like Shaquille O'Neal. He's under the basket. I have this layup. No, I'm jumping right into him.
But see,
because
now,
remember back then, if you was in that the what's the name circle, and you didn't get out, any contact was a foul. So I went headhunting. If Shaq or anybody raised out, didn't get outside, fuck this layup right here. I'm jumping this side.
There's no protection for the defense. You have all the advantage and all the protection. Me, you going at me with the plan to bait a foul, I have no insurance. None. I can't even say, hey, ref, I got my hands straight up. No, he's trying to get you to foul because you have 2. That's the whole advantage of the bait. I get that. But that's what I'm saying is the problem. It's the problem when it ain't a foul. It ain't a foul. That's the problem when it's not a foul and you're trying to get me to foul you so hard that it now looks like a foul.
But I mean, but that's part of the game, right?
Can't be. It's never been like that.
Let's say
we're spending a whole possession on you trying to get me to foul you.
Like this
that's not.
Now tell me, like, it's some bullshit, but it's just smart ass basketball. There's only a few people who IQ is running this what's the name? You're talking about a Chris Paul. You're talking about a J Kid. You're talking about, I'm pretty sure Luka will see this shit. Let's say you got 5 fouls and your ass was running down the court and you fail, right? You just fail, just motherfucker just fail. Them three motherfuckers is running over you.
Run, trip, and fall over you.
Yeah, them 3 motherfuckers is gonna run. Just crazy. They over here calling the play. They see you fail and you got 5 fouls and you the best defender or the best player. They gonna sit there and say fuck all that. They gonna run right to you, trip over you, 6 fouls.
Turnover.
Out.
Turnover.
Foul.
Travel, whatever it is that you just try.
It's a foul.
In theory, for that moment, what we know, yes. But I'm saying, for what we've seen with Baton, that should not be a fucking foul. That should be whatever it is. If he keeps the ball and he falls.
I don't think you motherfucking running full speed and I'm running behind you stop in front of me. I don't think that should be a foul.
See, they
don't
know what the fuck.
That's the Shaq shit.
Yeah, you dribbling that motherfucker down the floor and I'm running trying to motherfucker. You just stop.
And then get it.
And I get him up like, come on, man.
And in theory, it's a fucking charge.
Because the rule is defensive. You have to be in defensive position. If you're on the fucking floor, that you ain't in no defensive position. So a smart guy would just run over you.
Yeah, legal guard.
And that's just like for shot
legal guard. Yeah.
Shot blockers love to block shots. We don't like to fucking see no motherfuckers take charges. You're like, man, get your punk ass up and stop taking charges and meet me at the rim. What are we doing? We trying to dunk on. What's up? So it's the same with baiting fouls. It's like, bro, let me guard you.
Come on, stop fucking playing with me.
Bro, let me guard you, bro. I just want to guard you, bro. You ain't got to do all that. fuck, bro. Let me guard you.
Or-
If I can't guard you, then I'm gonna give you the credit.
Like
Like,
there, if you
alright.
flop, like you better hope I got one already.
Oh yeah, that foul
You
gonna
better,
be a hard foul.
you better hope I got one or two already. You better hope. You better hope you
Zoom
I'm
past him,
getting
bro.
on my nerves.
Because if you flop and I ain't got now, or I only got one, oh, you guarantee that next one. Now, and I'm gonna look right at the ref. Now that's a foul.
And go to the bench.
I'm gonna raise my no. It'll be in the right time though. It's gonna be at the right time. Hey, now that's a foul, right there. Like
what's the point is even when we played them, I already knew
He might make that.
I'm gonna shoot. I don't want to be the first person trying to make a layup.
Right, because they sending the
No, he go to the
I'm taking him every chance I get, bro. I'm fucking abusing this dude. Pause. Resume.
Everybody be like, oh, now you done scared the whole team. Now everybody want to shoot motherfucking jump shots, right? Shaquille O'Neal, you be the first one to drive. He gonna do the same shit. He gonna come. He ain't trying to block the shot. He gonna throw that motherfucking heavy ass hit. Boom.
Oh shit! I just fucked that up.
Bam.
Hell no.
Everybody was like, ooh, shit, jump shot century. What? Right? So it's all part of the game, and everybody's learning in real time. And if you don't know everybody's mannerisms, you can be scared off the motherfucking court. You going in, and throw one of these up, and the motherfucker, shit out of here. Niggas is gonna be like, you're gonna be sitting there driving like, where the fuck is King at?
What you just said about the Shaq shit, right? The Shaq hit. That was the defense's protection. That was the only protection. When you went in there and Shaq hit you with that, it's like, do I want another one of those? Can I handle another one of those?
I'm gonna tell you from somebody that attacked the rim. No.
And that's why I be like, yo, when you talk about people's defense, guards' defense, y'all have to realize who's behind them sometimes. Like, like Derek, yeah, you had good defense. But I didn't drive 90% of the time because that motherfucker only had one foul or two fouls down there. Like, so I don't want that shit. I don't have the type of body that wants to feel what the floor feels like.
Consistently.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's trying to prove a point. The point for Shaq sometime was, I don't want you guys to come in here. So I'm gonna hit you so hard that you shooting jump shots. That was his defense. Right? So some people, same thing with you. There's some people that's sitting there trying to fuck shit up.
Send the message.
Yeah, you sending the message. I don't want that message. Like, I'm only going to drop.
It's the mental side. He's sending the mental games.
Like if you look at how I played when I hit the 60 against Kobe, right? Look who his back line was. Oh, I'm coming up 27 free throws. These motherfuckers ain't trying to foul nobody. They sitting there doing this and doing.
Yeah.
Shaq, pull-ups, jumpers. Like I'm not going down there with that big motherfucker, man. He's clotheslining. He's doing all that shit.
Even on your N1.
Yeah, it's hard.
If it's an N1, you gonna feel that motherfucker.
Like you let Shaq get into the fourth quarter with 3 fouls, man. Good motherfucking luck, man.
Good luck.
Good luck. Nobody want to feel that shit, man. They're that serious.
Trust me, listen.
We don't got none of that in the league right now.
You turn that motherfucking
At
hip
all.
into you, man. Listen,
At all. DeAndre Jordan probably.
You wide open, you motherfucking trying to go. I'm taking off with 2.
Yep.
He motherfucking turn. Boom.
Like people think like, yo, you ain't dunk on Shaq? No, did you see what the fuck he does when you trying to dunk on him? Bah! Like,
What?
I should have went
we
out
asked
there,
the
bro.
chat, does Steph get an unfair whistle? 50-50 split.
Nah, he don't get like. Listen. If
I like that.
Shit, we just talked him all the way down to 50, goddamn.
if-
Because that shit is about 7, that shit 7
like
30.
no serious. Like to be honest, if Curry played to the whistle,
We go pass.
oh, this motherfucker has so many fouls because he's so little. He's so little. Every time you touch him, he can flop it if he wants to.
He'll get them, like I said,
You get the many eye calls.
if he did what Trae Young does, Trae Young knows how to, and he gonna fall out, right? You bump Trae Young coming off the floor, he gonna motherfucking hot dry. He ain't gonna turn that bitch. He wants you to blow the whistle.
That's all.
But if you don't, he gonna keep going. But he trying to get you to blow the whistle, right? It's so.
I'm big on
Steph
making
never
guys
done that.
look like they're playing selfish, though. Like guys like Trey, and if Steph hadn't built the legacy, he would be one of those guys that's taking them long-ass three-pointers that, originally is a bad shot. Like, we trying to run the offense, and you just come out the pick and roll, and you just 40-footer randomly, and it don't go in. As a team, we're looking at you like, bro, what is you doing? right? So Trae Young, if we playing him a certain way in the pick and roll where he always got to make the pocket pass, he can't come off and manipulate all this foul and shit, and the only shot you got is that deep three or that floater. That's all your
Taking
game
him every
regulated
time,
to
bro.
if we guard you the right way. Steph Curry, I'm not going to say that's going to be his game because he does have layup package, he does have floaters and mid-ranges. But the game looks different when you start being penalized for taking bad shots. And it's like, yeah, you can shoot 42%, 41% from 40.
Yeah, fucking
But
right.
when that shit don't go in and it leads to other fast break points, transition points on the other side, and you're not guarding and being an all-team defense on the other end, now we're at a discrepancy. That's always been my thing with Steph and Trae and Luka. Give me something on the other end, bro, so we can say you a solid fucking player.
Oh, that's real.
This is like for certain situations. I hear you. They are at a physical disadvantage at that time.
Most times.
Yeah, Golden State Warriors?
Steph and Trae and certain guys, they are at a physical disadvantage at times. Not all the time.
Oh, why did I leave
But-
Jaylen Brown, bro?
Like,
Like, what?
I could have been a singer. You. I see why he had that baby on.
Yeah, hey, let's keep it moving before this conversation takes a turn that may get us canceled. But so moving along, one team in the West appears to be healthy just at the right time. Kawhi Leonard was named Western Conference Player of the Week.
Wait.
Kawhi Leonard was named Western Conference Player of the Week. Let's take a look at what Kawhi's done. We like Kawhi here in the arena. I know you don't play on the right
I
team.
got a Kawhi jersey.
But thank you. Show some respect to the Claw. Kawhi averaged 25.6 rebounds and 2 steals per game en route to winning the award, Western Conference Player of the Week.
Did they go 3-0? What did they do?
Because, what team?
No, I don't mean to be the hater. Like, I do have a Kawhi Leonard jersey. I bought one just in case. I had to switch sides. But did they go 3-0?
We look for you, Gil. Always asking fucking questions.
Ooh, boy.
That's crazy, bro.
They did go. We have to. They're
All right, okay.
4-0. The other team in Los Angeles. This has been a consistent run for Kawhi. Since March 1st, Kawhi is averaging 25.7 rebounds, 2 steals, with 53, 42, 83 shooting splits. Clippers currently 46, 32, good for 5th in the West in a very fluid bracket right now. As we know, it's going to come down to Sunday, the last game of the NBA regular season.
Oh, my shit.
So he's back to being Kawhi.
He's back to being Kawhi.
He's back to being the person that we know of.
The gentleman
That's what you just said.
That we're rocking with.
All that shit you just read. He's back to being the person.
That's all you had to say. Kawhi back.
Kawhi's back.
You did all that reading. You should say Kawhi back. We're like, oh, okay, we got it.
Reading is fundamental. Gil.
It is.
How dangerous are the Clippers in the playoffs with a healthy Kawhi Leonard? That's always the question mark when you talk about Kawhi in the past few years. The Kawhi PG era marred by injuries. Kawhi injured last postseason. But if he can stay healthy, play at this level, how dangerous is that Clipper squad?
All right. We said it before, but when we were saying the 4-5 matchup if they have to play Denver. So we believe in them. They have 2 guys that's proven. Two-time finals MVP in Kawhi. That this is the time of year that he shows up. James is trying to prove something, trying to win something. I think T. Lue is trying to do the same as a head coach. Norman Powell and Ivica Zubac is playing, having the best year of their careers. So it's shaping up for them to make some noise, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
They in 5th?
Yeah.
Fifth.
Right matchup.
But you got 4 teams tied at 46 and 32.
Yeah, so it just depends on who they play in the first round, how it's going to look, but they still have all those pieces that I just mentioned, so yeah, you just want to give yourself a chance. And with the time that Kawhi missed early on in the season, for you to still be where you are, says a lot about the surrounding cast.
Yeah.
And the coaching job that T. Lue them did, so what's up?
The Kawhi's injury first reported, we thought they might be cooked, but James Harden, that crew, Zubac's playing at a immaculate level. Norm Powell, who's missed some games, but,
Like I seen something by Nick Wright, and it's starting to look like that in the West Coast. When he said something about when they originally did the play-in game, you should be at least 4 games within the team, right? So from 9th to 8th, you should be within striking distance, right? Memphis is 8 games out of the losing side. Right, they got 32 losses. Sac has 40 losses.
Oh, right person, bro.
Like, fuck. Why the fuck am I playing them in the playing game? Like, why?
Like, why would I pass it to him and not to the open?
Yeah. Why is any team in 10th in the conversation?
Like,
why? I've been saying, why is any team in 10th in the conversation?
10th, shit, 11 games. 11 games in front of 10. Like, why
that was
am
a
I?
good shot.
What
How am I late on
this
that?
is stupid.
I've been saying this shit, bro.
This doesn't even make sense. Like, there should be a guideline where if this is a close, like you're talking about from 5th spot, from 5th to 8th.
All tied.
They're all tied, right? So you're telling me 5th to 10th, you're talking about 11 games spread, and we can play for our spot? Get the fuck out of here.
So I've been saying the only way.
That's the dumbest shit ever.
You know why?
No, that's
because you're expected to win that game. It's
But
one game.
why
we playing it?
Because.
The fuck is the
10th, though, you had all season, dog.
We understand.
You had all season. You had 82 games.
This is like that mystery box. This is the mystery box, right? So those teams at the bottom of the Eastern Conference or Western Conference, y'all, you feel like you wrapped this spot up. You deserve it, right?
Deserve what? The 10th spot?
No, the 8th.
Yeah.
Yes.
You feel like you deserve it.
Yeah.
So they're saying, instead of you feeling so deserving of this spot, even a team that's undeserving has a chance to take this spot if you don't come in and do what you're supposed to do.
Oh,
See, that don't make no sense. Only way
Let's look at the 4 through 8.
The only way that 9 should be in the play, right? If 8 and 9, y'all have the exact same record after 82 games. 8 and 9. If you 8 and that team, y'all got the same record that team that's in 9. You in 9 got the same record. That's the only way there should be a play-in game. The only fucking way.
Just like college, man. Just
that's
like
67 team shit.
Just saying.
That shit's stupid as
still
fuck.
teams that's trying to get in just to have an opportunity to be a Cinderella.
So what's the point of
be the Cinderella?
But what I'm saying
to lose in the first round. Or to get to the fucking final.
You're not Miami Heat.
Not no more.
Miami Heat. But they was in 8. Miami Heat. But why do we have the 82 games for then? What is the point of the 82 games?
Yeah.
If somebody who can be literally horrible all year long
and still have
and then say, you know what, y'all? We just got to be good.
Like today,
one game.
It's like double elimination in pool play. You lost twice and still can get
just have it like
place.
You lost like twice. The NCAA has it right? They got the 64 teams, and then whatever this NIT shit is, do that. Do that with the NBA.
No, they even
9 through 16, y'all play some bottom bullshit. Play some bottom bullshit basketball.
It used to be 64 teams. Now you got fucking 68 teams, and you got 2 other off-brand games. They playing for 63 and 64. Like, that shit's stupid as fuck.
But what happens, though? What you filter out the whole bracket every year. The teams that's supposed to be there in the Elite 8, they're there. Mm-hmm. The first seeds, third, second seed. So it's just to filter out the entertainment part. It's like, how are we going to get entertained? The 8th spot was supposed to play the 7th, but they lost to the 10th. So the 10th just came in. They had a big game. Such and such killed them for 57. They won and put them niggas out.
So that's what I'm saying. You're erasing 82 games for one game. What is the point then?
One game.
You might as well just say, fuck the season, and then just do bracket play during the playoffs.
Yeah. You don't put yourself in a position to be 8th so that you lose
or
7.
Somebody got to be an 8.
Don't put yourself in a position. You win them games you were supposed to win.
So, Sean, if I got 50 wins and I'm 8th,
and you got
40.
Are you one game back? Are you one
game
back?
I got 11 games and I'm 8th, right? Yep. I got 50 wins and I'm 8th. What you mean? Like, I've won more than... So I'm supposed to have a...
You're supposed to win this next game.
But why do I have to play in that game and this team got fucking 35 wins?
It's the next game.
35 wins.
It's like a wild card in football.
What the fuck? I made that?
The wild card. Before we get to the actual playoffs, y'all gotta win. Y'all gotta beat them to get in.
No, it's not. It's like having a game before the wild card game.
That too.
No.
Why not?
No.
So you have a chance to be in the wild card.
You suck.
And that's the point. We suck.
Yes.
We have a chance to be in the wild card.
No. You had a chance. You blew it.
Every year we have a team that don't play. Look,
shit.
we don't have a team that don't play well.
Ain't no mulligans in this shit.
You know what team that usually is? The Cleveland Browns. They fucking trash.
Respect.
Yeah.
Year in, year out. But you give them a fucking shot to beat a team that they close every year. They close to beating.
No.
Like, man, we almost beat them motherfuckers every year.
No, fuck.
If you give them a chance in the playoffs to beat them, they'll beat them.
You the main one always sitting on this motherfucker talking about winning matters, winning.
I'm the one to say we always got a chance.
Winning. I'm
always got a chance.
No, your chance.
We got it. I've
your
always
chance
said.
was the 82
we got
games.
a chance.
Your
chance.
Your chance, Rashad, was the 82
the
games.
82's not up.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
yes.
We got one more.
That's 83.
That's 83.
Oh, it doesn't
That's
say.
why they put it in.
When this shit first started, right? It wasn't. We're gonna give you 82 and maybe
an opportunity.
No, opportunity was you blew it, motherfucker.
We didn't blow it.
We're gonna give them hope.
Hope. Listen, Hope went to work on motherfucking Easter Sunday. Wasn't nobody in there.
Except for Canyon. Somebody was in there.
Jesus was there. What I'm saying is,
somebody always in there.
Like look at this.
No, it's just like when I went to listen. That day
I
I
was
tried to go to
there,
Crazy
though,
Girls,
man.
that bitch wasn't open yet. Motherfucker, 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, ain't nobody in that motherfucker.
I was in there. I told them close the door.
No, you wasn't there.
Close the motherfucker. Lock it. Lock it. Don't let nobody in the front door.
No, that shit weak. That's loser mentality shit. No, that shit weak.
You, man, give them an opportunity.
Like this, like the East, Milwaukee and Detroit, 44 wins, 43 wins. They are locked. 44 and 43. The West, 8th spot is 46 wins. You got 46 wins and you still playing for a playoff chance.
That's why they're the varsity.
Oh, but look, you talking about Miami? Let's talk about.
Miami got 36.
No, let's talk Miami and Dallas right now. Miami, Dallas is 10. They both at 10, and they both you say
38. But
for them two teams who've been to the playoffs, who has playoff contention abilities, has the right to come in and try to play for this 8th spot.
No. I got eight more wins than you.
Because we can beat y'all.
What gives you
Why you had 82 games to prove that?
That's the right. The fact that we can beat y'all.
What gives you the right though?
The fact that we can beat y'all.
No, you had 82 games to prove that.
We got one more.
No,
you know what's so funny? Memphis in 8th spot.
This goddamn.
What if Memphis in 8th spot says, "Hey man, look, we got 46 wins. Houston has 52. We're closer to Houston at 2nd than 10th spot is to us." So look,
crazy.
So let me fight for 2nd spot then.
Yeah, let me fight.
These motherfuckers in 10th, they fight for my game for 2. Let me fight for 2.
Hey, I wouldn't mind all.
They're 8 games behind me. I'm only 6 games behind them. Let me fight for that.
When the regular season start, when the playoffs start, does the regular season matter?
No.
Okay, so let's say it starts. These 10 teams, the teams that are in for the whatever we want to call it, the wild card play, whatever play in.
The bullshit games.
Boom. From this point forward, we have to play.
But why is there 10 teams?
Why not?
Because my team been bullshit all year.
That's what I'm saying. But
we haven't bullshit all year.
But
you got a losing record.
We haven't bullshit. Just like Detroit last year, they lost a lot of close games.
Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
It do count when they're now 5. They're now 5.
And hand grenades.
When we played good last year, we had a lot of close games that we lost.
Why you bringing up
we was at 10. Now we're at 5. Because those games we took advantage of, we learned from.
Yeah, you learned.
So if you put them last year in 10 and they can play for the play-in, they can win that game.
No, but you can't put them last year.
But that's what they're doing.
No, they learned from being in 10th.
I'm telling you.
They learned from being in 10th last year, not in 5th.
That's the point.
That's where it goes.
That's the
you
point.
in
You don't want to be 10.
You go back to the drawing board and goddamn and get better.
You don't want to be 10, right?
No.
You don't want to be 10, right?
10, you suck.
So you work to get to 6 and 7.
10, you fucking suck.
I play to get to the play.
You can't even get to 7 anymore.
Oh, but if I play and I get better and I'm playing at 7, I don't have to play.
So should it just be top 7?
No, it should be like looking forward, top 8.
No. The game's so boring now, you should scramble these motherfuckers and make it. Ain't nothing guaranteed. This 10 team come here and beat you this one game and have your ass sit here like, what the fuck just happened?
Like that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're 8 games behind me, and you're allowed to fight for my spot. Why am I not allowed to fight for a spot that's 6 games in front of me?
That I feel I can get.
I can feel I can get one. It's a one game.
One game.
One game. I just got to play Houston one game.
Hey, let the Jazz go play Oklahoma City.
The 8 games y'all got to get ahead of us were games where guys set load management and all the little. Does those games count?
Yes, they count already. Yeah. So if I'm only 6 games behind Houston and I'm Memphis, I would rather say, you know what? Hey, hold on. Let me fight for that spot.
But you're not better than me. You're not better than
Kent ain't better than me either.
You just have more wins based on circumstances. We know we can beat you.
What the
you
fuck
can say you're saying our record is the thing that reflects us not having a reason to play for the play-in.
The fuck did you hold on?
The play-in, if I know that the games that y'all want to get ahead of us were bullshit games, we know we can beat them.
And I know I can beat Houston. If I'm Memphis,
I point to put everybody in the opportunity to win in the
playoffs.
That's
what I'm saying.
What's the schedule
everybody. That's why the play-in is there. That's why the play-in is there.
But what I'm saying is,
what is the 82 game schedule for then?
What is the playoff schedule for?
What is the 82 game schedule for then?
It's the regular season.
What is it for?
To play back.
To dictate
dictate what?
To playoffs.
82 games.
10 spots.
8 spots.
82
Ain't
games.
no 8 spots no more.
No more.
So stop saying it.
Fucking charity.
Stop saying it. It's
Charity
play-in with 10 spots, and a motherfucker got to play and prove themselves that you deserve this spot. And you ain't gonna change the rules. So goddamn it, adapt to it.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Your motherfuckers gonna lose in the first round. Don't play us.
Hey, in the words
Take
of
your ass to the goddamn drawing board and draw the play up the right way.
Hey, in the words of motherfucking Ace
shit?
Ventura, the pet detective, who's her?
Now, if you lose to us, who's a her?
No, but that's what I'm
in
saying.
the play-in.
Like,
now take your ass home, who's
it's only
her?
To no 10th.
It's here. You're definitely gonna lose.
Nobody loses.
If you don't be scared, what you scared
happens to the West.
What you complaining about? If you ain't scared, we gonna beat us. Goddamn, we're trying to play.
But you can get lucky one game.
And they don't hear that shit.
But what I'm saying is, if I'm 11 games in front of you, and you're allowed to fight for my spot,
horse your team.
I literally should be able to fight for any spot in front of me that's in the same realm. That is all I'm saying. Like, what makes you
adding 2
what
teams to the play?
What I'm saying, what makes but you're 11 games from behind 7 spots.
We want to play more games.
You make it
for the playoffs.
What I'm saying is, but you're 11 games away from me, but I'm only 2 games away from second, but I'm in 7. Why can't I fight for second? 2 games is separating us. 11 games is separating us. But you can fight for my spot and have hope. I can find hope.
Look, the last 3 games of the season, are we not fighting for what position?
Look, we saying all this, bro, but the most important thing is that NBA YoungBoy is home. That's the most important thing of everything in the world right now.
Well, like I said,
no. There's actually 8.
They're playing for a play-in spot.
8 solidify themselves.
Rashad, when you make the statement, I'm hearing you, but when you're saying it, make sure you put like them last 2 teams are fucking bullshit horseshit NBA.
I can't.
But we talk about the West, but you look at on the East side. So
I said it only happens in the West.
We play the Warriors tonight, boy.
My point is, you got the Magic at
It's
7th right
lit.
now, 38 and 40. You got
Celtics,
the Hawks
Knicks.
in 8th at 37
Lakers
and
play the
41.
Thunder
You got the
again.
Bulls in 9th at 36 and 42, and you got the Heat in
Wait,
10th
this
right
basketball?
now, 36 and 43. So why do they get to go to the playoffs then if they're trash?
No.
And we got Western.
What I'm saying is,
somebody got to make it in the East.
when you think about the playoffs,
Why not just make it top 16 then?
when you think about the play-in, the East Coast, it always makes sense for the East because
might be
only
getting
1 or 2
somebody
games
pregnant
from
tonight.
8 to
It's
10.
a good day, man.
Right, so you have 8 at 37, 9th at 36, 10th at 36, 7th at 38. So they're a game away from beating each other. So them 4 motherfuckers should be playing for something.
Yeah.
Right?
Good contest.
Cool. But when 8th spot has 46 wins, and then 10th spot has 38 wins in the West, you're not in the same realm. Why are we even playing against each other?
Because we've been kicking y'all ass all year.
That is not. We're not the same. These are 1 or 2 games.
Nothing to do with it being the same. It doesn't have to be the same. It's the fact that Whether we have 11 games above or below,
It was a great give and
gotta
go.
play us to
Well,
get
that's
in.
because they put it in, but you don't believe that shit.
I do.
No, you don't.
You get an opportunity.
You didn't believe that shit before.
If you can beat us,
You didn't believe
beat
that shit
us.
before they put it in.
It's the same thing
So
with the
what's up
wild
next?
card.
But
If the wild card team that comes in that gets a wild card bid against a good team,
Shut.
you
Respect.
gotta beat
Respect,
that
Let's
team.
change
I have a
the
question
money.
for you.
Let's change the money. Let's say you have $1 million.
Fuck it, man.
We're playing big bank, take little bank. You got $1 million. I got 500,000. Literally, right? You got the big bank. I got the little bank. I get the motherfucking roll one dice to win your money. Are you really even?
It is
the same.
It's not a 50-50 scenario.
No, we both
for
get the
a
roll.
team that is good enough to go on.
To go on where?
To go on to the playoffs.
So
to play extra games.
How are you
I'm
good enough?
So Rashad,
What do you mean?
How are you
am I
good enough?
'Cause You said that because of the record.
Rashad,
The record that shows you lost. Your bank account
I'm
shows
talking about you, not
your
me.
bank account shows you have more money than me. But we get to roll one dice.
Yes.
To see who wins your money.
That's not a good
It is the
scenario
same.
because that's a 50-50
Rashad, I have a
chance,
question.
bro.
It is a 50-50
No,
shit.
it's not. Because as the team that's deserving of this spot, we're gonna prove that we're deserving of
You
this
should prove
spot.
that your bank is bigger.
50-50 is not. That's luck. You're rolling for luck, bro. We're not rolling for luck if I'm better than you as a team. We're 11 games higher than me. We're 11 games higher than you.
Yeah.
Right? I have to prove why.
huh?
Why do I have to prove it?
Because we got the spot.
Why do you have to prove
the
that?
spot? Because you have the spot.
Shit, because it's in place. Shit, what the fuck?
Spot. Now you have to prove against the 10 that you can actually.
So I'm proving my 500,000 is more than your 1 million.
When did they
50 is 50.
So started
That's a bad
the bubble.
analogy.
I think that was just for 8-9, and then I believe
So I have a
after
question
that,
for you.
21.
I have a question
If I'm
for you,
not mistaken.
Rashad. Before that season, before the 2020
It
season,
was 8-9 in the bubble. They played
before
for the 8
then,
spot.
right? So 5 years ago, right? Did you think that?
I didn't know nothing about it.
I didn't ask you that.
I wouldn't have thought about it.
So you was cool with it only being 18?
Nobody
Hell yeah.
would
Was you cool with it only being 18?
Kenyon.
I think this is
So
much
did you
better.
think-
Never
Yeah, yeah.
introduced before it was introduced.
Like, what the hell
So
are you asking?
everybody
Like,
could
what?
literally sit around
Did
and
you think before they changed the rule that 10 should have a chance?
how nobody
No.
thought it.
Because
Until
why?
it got in place.
Because it wasn't realistic.
It wasn't in
why?
place.
I don't fucking know. I didn't come up with it.
Because of their fucking record.
They came up with it for a reason.
Before 8 and 9 could be tied, and they went with head-to-head matchup.
I'm complaining about
conference
extra
record,
entertainment,
We need
bro.
more
division
games.
record,
Extra
We need more
competition,
games.
like,
about
We
all
can
that
make more
shit.
money.
That's what it's
what
about,
I'm complaining
ultimately,
about.
for a bunch of badass fucking teams.
Listen, I'm going the season before that.
Motherfuckers suck.
The West Coast, right? The AC, the Clippers,
Fuckers.
they were 9 games
Oh, is
away
KD
from
back
first
tonight?
place. 8 spot. 10 spot, who gets to fight for their position, was 20 games away from first. They were 11 games behind, but they get to play for someone's spot.
Losers.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we know who the winner is, but I'm allowed to gamble. Like, I'm allowed to gamble with your money. Like, obviously, I'm gonna do it. I get to gamble with your shit.
I just won a championship.
Coaching me,
I just won the championship last year. Why do you guys get a chance at my shot? Why you guys get a chance at my title?
Which teams?
Any of you motherfuckers.
All of them?
All y'all lost, right? Why you get a second
All
shot at
of
my
them?
title?
Huh?
You
You
get
get
a,
a second shot at it. You don't get to play another fucking series.
so we get to play another season.
You don't get to play another series.
This is another season.
So you're asking no.
I'm the champ.
Your statement
Why
says
do you
that
guys get to keep trying to beat like
your state, because the champions is a different champion every year. That shit's stupid. What you
Exactly.
said.
So
What the statement
if
that you're
OKC
saying
can
is
go from 11 to
Yes,
1,
it's just
if the Houston
stupid what
Rockets
you just
can go
said.
from
But they-
where
they
was
hold
the
on
Houston
the
Rockets
fucking
at 2 years ago?
So they did not make the playoffs.
13th. They
Oh
was
my
13th.
god. What the fuck?
Now they 2.
They're 2.
Now they 2.
2.
They turned it around.
Yes.
Right. So if they had a chance to play in the play-in
That's how you
game,
feeling?
they did that.
The
But
hell?
in between
They
that
didn't.
two, in between.
They didn't.
And they could
They
beat somebody.
They
get
did.
in the playoffs.
That has nothing to do with anything.
It has everything to do. That's the reason it's there.
hypothetically, no.
It's there to activate the team that
Hypothetically,
think they
I'm not
supposed to be.
shooting
brought
that
up a team
shot,
that's
bro.
13th.
Like,
Play
what
for
the
that.
hell?
You brought up a team that you said was in 13th place.
Yeah.
What
They
are you
didn't-
talking fucking about here?
It was a joke.
They're in 13th.
It was a joke.
It's an unrealistic statement.
It's not an unrealistic.
Yes, it is at 13, so they ain't got a chance to do shit but go to
unrealistic.
They ain't got a chance to do shit but go pick the guy that they picked in the fucking lottery at 13.
So,
dog, listen.
That's all they got a chance to
do.
do.
The 2014-15 Mavs won 50 games. They will be playing in the play-in game.
It's stupid.
Against a team that won 39.
It's stupid. It's
Go beat
fucking
'em.
stupd. Is what it is.
So we asked the chat,
It's a money grab.
should the NBA have the play-in tournament? 57% of the chat said no.
50. What's so funny is
So let me ask y'all, is it obvious?
Kane would like to know, is it obvious?
Is it obvious?
In the West, the 7th seed had a 50.
Can we ask the chat if it's obvious?
No, please.
The 3rd team in the East had 50.
Got shit to do. It's fucking 215.
And we do it, but Kane, we love being here. We are a family here at Gills Arena presented by Underdog. Woo woo.
It's only an East. What's so funny is the West Coast. It's a big separation in the West. It's the East Coast that's the problem.
They fucking suck.
Yeah, it's the East that's the problem.
The East does
East
suck.
up to the number 1 seed.
Fucking badass fucking basketball.
In the West? Yes.
Anywhere.
Yes.
Anywhere.
Compare-
If I'm number 1 seed, I'm playing the number 8 seed.
Yeah.
Am I playing the suck team?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. What the fuck is what are we talking about? You're going to play the suck team anyway.
So what if I'm allowed to play for?
fuck?
What if I'm the 8th seed, but I'm allowed to play for your spot because I'm only 6 games away from it?
It's weird, man.
And I beat you.
You can play
Now
for it
you're
in
the
a
8th
7-game
seed.
series.
Still playing
What
a
is
bad
weird is
team.
But
promoting
think about it.
losing
I'm
basketball.
allowed.
Fucking weird.
If I'm in the 8th seed and I'm allowed now to play you for your number 1 seed, that's OKC's been number 1 the whole season, and the 8th seed is allowed to play 1 game against them to try to beat them. Let's say Shea takes the fucking day off and they get smacked. They deserve to be the 8th seed now?
Why did he take
Or out of the
day off?
playoffs? I don't know. Motherfucker might have hurt his ankle in
That
game
was his
motherfucking
fault.
81.
That's a bad decision.
But it's a dumb thing.
It's a dumb decision. Don't take a day off.
You got the fucking
when you got
worst
a
team in
motherfucker,
the-
you got a motherfucker come in here and beat you. You can go home. Why the fuck would you take a day off?
Because it's something I
You don't take
do.
serious, right? So
Yeah,
you
we
take
don't
number
take the
1.
team at
The
10
number
serious.
1 seed gonna take the number 8
We don't
seed
take the
serious,
team at
right?
10 serious.
When we
No.
start, you take us serious because we're number 8,
no.
right? Now what I'm saying is all the dumb, sorry ass bum teams are fighting for 8.
And
So whoever
team-
ends up 8 is gonna be sorry anyway, is what he's saying. They just suck anyway.
It is a
So
mid-off.
what the fuck is the problem?
A mid-off for the 8th spot.
Let's figure out who sucked the most and
We had 82 games to figure that out.
We had 82
We had
games.
82 games to figure it out.
Hey, how many teams, like think about it, how
82.
many bad teams, 8, 7, 6, have won the first game? Now imagine if that was actually the elimination game. History changes,
It would be unfortunate. So we asked the chat, is it obvious?
right?
No, listen, man.
Philadelphia 76ers, didn't they win that game 1 against the Lakers? They lost 4-1.
Yes.
Didn't they win the first game?
They did.
Yeah.
Game over. Can't do it. There's a reason there's a series now because the best team's supposed to survive. It's easy to beat one team in 1 win. So the fact that 9 and 10 is playing 7 and 8 just
You
makes
got
no sense.
37 fucking wins.
37 wins.
We asked the chat, is it obvious?
37 fucking wins.
80% said it is. So let's move on to mostly fans.
we don't even know what it means.
They have no idea. You never know what's obvious.
You
but
never
it is.
know.
It is obvious.
Because the creator created
God
it,
damn.
so it is whatever I say it is.
35, 9, and 10.
Oh.
What's up, bro?
Is it fucking obvious?
Liam and Berm said,
2 white men, wow.
Get the fuck out of here. We
oh, no. We got,
the fuck
we got,
out here. We
got,
ain't doing this
we
shit.
got 10 teams.
Modelo Chelada. Mexican beer meets bold flavors and spices.
I don't remember what it was. It's upstairs. If you want it, Welcome back to another episode of Mind the Game. In this episode, I got to nerd out a little bit. Maybe it's an episode that means more to me than most people out there, but I think it's really fascinating for fans and even fans who play in the league to understand what it takes to survive, to find consistency, to be prepared to play, to avoid injury, to be able to go out there every night and do your job. And so in this episode, I really dug in on LeBron's preparation, how he takes care of his body, the sports science behind it, what his recovery is like, his diet, many different things that allow him to find that level night after night, but also year after year. This is year 22 for LeBron James. That's an outrageous accomplishment to play and to be able to play at this level. Still
22 years, man.
running the floor, still able to play at
Playing at the highest level.
And much of that is
22
due to
years.
his preparation and recovery. this guy is
in a sport where you play both sides of the ball.
And I think you'll be fascinated, as I was, to get a little deeper, understand the methodology.
In a sport where you play 82 games every season. And in LeBron's case, most cases in LeBron's case,
I gotta ask,
almost 100 games in the whole season.
How do you feel? Like, really, how do you feel? Like, do you feel great? Do you feel like, I feel great for my age? Do you feel I feel great for the stage of my career? You're just like, I feel great.
I mean, Drew Holiday.
I have my moments. Before.
So that's good. You're human.
I have my moments. But I would say for where I am in my career, the years I've played, the miles I've played, the minutes I've played, the games I've played, I feel great. I feel great. And obviously you have months where some months are better than others, depending on the schedule. After games, depending on the workhorse of the game, you know, you're like, oh shit. But it's usually the morning after the game. It's that first step out of bed will let you know how old your ass is.
Yep.
And those are the moments I'm like, Brian, what the hell? And it's usually on the road too.
Yeah.
It's usually on the road. You know, you're like, what the hell are you still doing out here? What the fuck are you doing? Why are you out here still?
Yeah. And what do you feel it? Like, is it like a slight like inflammation, tired legs, back?
Yeah, back, ankles. Yeah.
You know, no one wants to hear this, but I play soccer a little bit. I played the other night. A bunch of guys that are like 25 to 30, 30s. Like, I wake up the next day, I feel like I was in a car crash.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can explain it. Like, I don't know how you are still dunking on cats, like running out ahead of everybody.
I don't know either.
You know,
I don't know.
Do you have nights like this happen to me a lot, and you have to learn to deal with it?
How do you do it? Like, you know how dedicated you gotta be, man.
Heavy legs.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. Or you know, you wake up and you're headed to the arena, and you're like,
I don't know.
It's not gonna be a night.
It's like this shit started like.
I had that feeling right after the break. We shoot the bed with Charlotte right after the break. Back to back important. We didn't get to our hotel until 3 o'clock in the morning, and we had back to back.
And your support system gotta be tight.
9 of their last 11, and I think the 2 games they lost to was versus Denver. I think they were 11 and 2 of their last 13. So they have been playing good ball. Chauncey had been playing great ball, and you know, I woke up to get treatment at like 11 o'clock. You know, I didn't go to sleep till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So I set my alarm for 10:30. I was like, okay.
Is that always hard for you? You get off the flight.
Yeah, always, yeah. Even at home, it's always hard to sleep the night after a game.
So do you ever go on the road after a game? You fall asleep that last 10 minutes of the flight? You can't fall asleep for like 3-4 hours.
It just killed me on the way back from Denver. It was the worst.
That.
It killed me on the way back from Denver. Oh my goodness, it killed me on the way back from Denver. You know, so we're in Portland, and you know, I get my rehab, my treatment. I was like, okay, I have to get my body moving. You know, I can't wait till 7 at night. I got to get my body moving. I get the treatment and rehab. I get in there, and I get down around like 12:30, 1 o'clock, and usually I catch the first bus, which is usually 3.5 hours before the game. So 7 o'clock game is like a 3:30 bus.
I got to hear about that later. The thought on that, but go on, keep going.
I get into bed at 1 o'clock. I set my alarm for 2:30. It goes off. My body basically says, "There's no way you get out of this bed yet." So I reset my clock again for the next bus. Supposed to be at 4. Body again. Long story short, I ended up catching the last bus at 5 o'clock. Like I couldn't, my body would not let me get out of bed. I needed to rest till 4:15. I finally got out of the bed, caught the 5 o'clock bus. Didn't shoot pregame. Got in, did some stretching. You know, did a little activation in the locker room. Got ready to play, and I was like, tonight ain't gonna be the night. And I scored 40.
You've been there before. You've been there before. You don't panic.
I didn't panic
at all. You don't quit. You're like, it might not be the night. Let me adapt.
But let me see.
Before you know it,
crowd keep going, start going. The motor gets going. You know, I always say like I'm like a 1965 Chevy Caprice. I just need a little bit of time on the highway to get going, rev it up, get a little smoke out of the engine. Yeah, and then I was ready to go.
But it's interesting because I think like common fan and even maybe a lot of players. But nowadays we have all the bells and whistles for recovery. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Massage, compression, hot cold.
Yeah, hot cold. Hyperbaric. Yep.
95% of your recovery, 99% is sleep.
It's sleep.
It's by far the greatest.
I said it after the game. They asked me how I said I just slept as much as I could.
Yeah, that's it. And that's the thing. Like that's got to be a habit if you want to be successful.
Yeah, for sure.
You want to prevent injury. You want to be able to say, I don't have it tonight, but I'll give myself a chance. Get 40, right? Like, but that's a part of the discipline of sleeping, staying, you know. Because a lot of times, you know, like we travel. This is for the fans, right? We travel. You get in late nights, planes, different cities, time zones. The cumulative effect of the season. I'm not complaining. It's amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
But like your clock is a mess. Like trying, like that's why. Like I wasn't a great sleeper. So I had to nap like every day, like really for the days when I wasn't going to sleep, right? And it's cumulative sleep. Like you have a bank account.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So like if you're trying to get 8 to 9 a day, like sometimes you're gonna get 5 or 6, and how are you gonna make up the deficit, right? So the napping, the discipline.
Like JT, you such a fucking like I hate you. I don't like you at all, bro.
She's the best ever. She gets mad at me when it's time for me to go to bed. That's how much I love sleep and take care of my body. Like it's like that. But about 9 o'clock at night, I'm like, "Ooh, what time you going to bed?" She's like, "You going to sleep?"
Yeah.
I ain't going to bed.
Do you like preempt it with like, hey, you want to hang a little tonight? Because if you want to like dinner or like have a glass of wine, I'm gonna do it at like 5:36. That's my household too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm interested in how you've done this all throughout the years, and so maybe I was thinking we could start like with how the calendar looks for you. So like, if you don't mind, like, the season ends.
Fucking serious,
Let's
bro.
start now. It's a new season, so that's our January women's basketball players in a way. Is like when the
Right.
season ends.
Right.
How was your approach to the off season, and especially those first 3-4 weeks?
Yeah, those first 3 or 4 weeks is literally try to get away from actually me playing basketball. Am I away from the game? Absolutely not. I'm watching the game or I'm in the gym with my boys and I'm watching them prepare and playing, either they're in tournaments, whatever the case may be. But me personally, I try to give myself, especially at this point in my career, an opportunity for all the little nicks and crannies and bruises, whatever, to give itself to recover. And obviously I've learned over the years that, you know, me recovering at 40 is totally different in the off season than me recovering at 25. You just don't recover as fast. Right. So I try to take like a month, maybe a month and a half off from like really like grinding on the basketball court. But what I am doing, you know, I'm doing yoga and Pilates and stretching and, you know, massaging and, you know, cupping and all those things that try to help, you know, rejuvenate my body to when it's time. Without no wear and tear. You know, if I'm running, try to run in one of the like the Ultra G, treadmill where you can lessen the load, or doing more pool workouts where you lessen the load on your limbs and joints and things of that nature. So that's what kind of like my first 6 to 8 weeks look like, you know, after the season, you know, because I'm still traveling, you know, with the kids and with the family. So, you know, obviously that's information when anytime you get up in the air. But, you know, I'm able to kind of take care of my body then for those first 6 to 8 weeks.
But I think it's an important point, like, and I think you'll agree, like, I didn't believe in taking much time off. Because
especially as you get older.
When you get older, you stop moving, you might not get it back.
Yeah.
So like continuing to do like the bits and bobs and having the regenerative effect, but still moving the body, synovial fluid. Like,
no, you're right. Because if you completely just shut down, like, and do nothing, then you won't do nothing.
Right. Yeah.
You won't do nothing. You start to get comfortable with it. You're like, I don't like this feeling, but I don't, you know.
It's like the principle that the body's an adaptive system. Yeah. So we do what we teach it, right? So if you run, you become someone that can run. If you sit on the couch, you do nothing. You're someone that's adapted now to doing nothing. So when you ask yourself to do something, like, this is dangerous. Like, you know, for what we're trying to do, you just get out back out on the court and run around, things fall off, right? So it's really important, I think, to like, it's like almost active recovery, movement. And I'm interested that you felt that way too. But then the mental side too, right? Like getting a little bit of space from the grind, right? So that when you do 4, 6, 7 weeks in,
I'm not gonna lie, their defense on ball shit.
Maybe you miss it a little bit. Yeah. And that's what you. I think once you get to those plus 15 years in the NBA, you're always trying to find, you know, the little moments of inspiration. You know, it could be from anything. It could be just an inspiration for the miss of the love of the game. Yeah. You know, you've taken time away from it, and I'll miss it. I want to get back to it. It could be inspiration from, you know, your kids. You know, hang around your kids no matter what sport they're playing. It could be basketball, it could be soccer, it could be, you know, whatever they're playing. You just see in the competitive juices, so you're like, okay, now I miss it. Or it could just be, now it's time to click back in, you know, because you still feel like you still have more time. You still feel like I have more to give.
Yeah, you want to be sharp. Yeah, you want to be sharp. You know, usually the season doesn't end in a championship. So you have motivation for failure. Like, you want to be more prepared. So like giving yourself that space and revs up that motivation, which is huge, right? Like, you know, it's a little bit a part, I'm sure, of your journey is like, you know, I try to tell this to young players, but like, a coach could give us a workout. Here's what I want you guys to do. And like, you and I doing it can be totally different. I did it. But like, you attacked it.
Oh, I gotta make those, man.
The habits you have for how you work is important. Sometimes you need a little bit of space to say, I'm ready now. I got a spark that I'm not, my habits are coming back, that every day, I'm competing in everything I do, whether it's the gym, it's the mobility, stability, activation, recovery. Like, I can skip the cold. No, that's not me. I'm going to do every little step.
And I think the best thing about it is like when it becomes just a way of life. And it's not even about because you're an athlete. It's because it's a part of your life. You know,
I could have got that.
You may not all the time, you know, I know when I'm done playing basketball, I won't be going to the gym every day working on my game anymore. But as far as training and still doing things for my body, active recovery, mentally recovering mentally, you know, grounding, you know, things that I'm gonna still do. All the stuff that I've done besides the basketball portion, when it comes to my lifestyle, will not change. You know, I fell in love with the hyperbaric chamber, the hot and cold tub, the plunges, the massages, the everything, the grounding, just going out and sitting in the grass and just, just
this shit is hard,
literally just letting go, and all of that stuff. So those things are a part of life now, and when you're able to incorporate,
I say it every day, but this shit ain't every day, but it's every day.
Into a profession as well, it unlocks a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
They say, obviously, like you said, is most important.
They say in the habit sciences, like a part of forming a habit is identifying with it. So like you now identify with this lifestyle. You identify with every spoke in the wheel of success, right? So I'm a little bit like you in that, like I can't sit still. Like my career is long gone now. I've been out of the game for 10, 11 years. I can't like sit still.
You've been out how long?
40 when I retired. So yeah, I just turned 51. So
are you kidding
coming
me?
up on I think it's 14. So yeah, with the 11 years. My last game was March of 14. Staples. So.
Oh my goodness.
11 games.
It does not seem that long.
It feels that long to me.
Now I feel old as shit. Now.
No, you're the young man dunking on people.
No,
so.
I feel so old. It's been 10 plus years since you played. That's not.
No, right? Wow. Time flies.
Wow, time flies.
My daughters are in college. All that stuff.
You look great,
right?
man. You said 51. Freak.
Well, let's cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers, man.
I get glimpses of myself in the mirror every once in a while, and I'm like, oh.
Oh, fuck no, man. You look fucking great. 51? I would never guess that.
Thank you. As someone who's always looking for that next rush, whether it's driving the lane or threading the needle, we get it. You need that excitement. And let me tell you, I found it in Audible. No joke. These audiobooks have me on the edge of my seat, whether on a long drive or in a recovery session. From heart-pounding thrillers to epic adventures.
Let me ask you something, Steve. Do you think I really give a fuck? I'm just want to ask you.
Play still. Were you still at?
They gonna call a timeout right after a set?
Yeah. Right?
Fuck out of her.
Get my stage sharp.
Fuck out of her.
Play still. Were you still at, or you just like get sharp again? Get sharp again.
I'm a place where it's more just sharpening everything. I have, I'm not in ad mode. I feel like I've gotten to a point where what I bring to the game.
You're comfortable with the fact
I'm comfortable with the foundation of my game. But it's just all about sharpening. So if it was one summer where
this shit is realistic though, because
catch and shoot.
I was beating the fuck out of them at the start of the game. I was up by like 15.
My post game and wasn't. As efficient I wanted to be, then I do that. If there was a point in time where I feel like my ball handling wasn't as good as I would like for it to be, I'm never going to be Steve Nash or Kyrie Irving when it comes to ball handling, but I can be myself. Then I work on that a little bit more. So, yeah, it's just about sharpening, the foundation of my game at this point.
But I bet you add experiences.
LeBron's bag is crazy. The shit that he can do.
Does that process happen for you at postseason, summer?
Yeah, for sure.
Next year, I need to exploit this situation in either a different way,
especially like
exploit it more instead of giving this one away. I can double down here.
You know what? It comes from
with the finesse shit that he started doing, like when he went to the Lakers.
I've been in the league, and obviously, like you said, you said your last game was in 2014.
All the
so that means I was
fadeaways.
with you for 11 years, competing, or whatever the case may be.
Jumpers.
Either multiple uniforms you're in. I was in multiple uniforms, but I've seen the game. When I came into the league, it was two bigs.
Yep.
It was
made me like, wait, he might be a better all-around basketball player.
And probably up until about, I guess 2008, 2009, you start having more players handle the ball, but you still kind of
I need this one. I need that one.
Thing.
I need that one. I
went
need it bad
Phoenix
too.
and changed the whole two bigs. No, one big. I need one rim roller or one guy that can sprint down the floor, beat everybody down. If you're down there, you beat the big. Kick it ahead to you. If not, you come set the drag screen. We're gonna spread the game out. And we adapted that in Miami when Bosh became a five.
You gotta realize I'm faster than
we see
these
what the game is now.
bro.
And now, today, it's almost 5 out. 5 out. Everyone's shooting threes. So I think when it came to the off season, I always wanted to have the adaptability and the growth mindset to be able to change.
The block.
Still be productive no matter what the game called for. Makes sense. And I think that's what.
It's like not like you didn't have it in your package.
Right.
It was just like, I need to bring out more of this.
Yeah. What did the game cause for? Did the game cause for me to be more of a pick and roll player? Did the game cause for me to be a guy that slash or slash more without the ball? Did the game cause for me to shoot a few more threes? That's where it is today. So you work on those aspects to where you're still effective, and you can still adapt and have a growth mindset.
He still makes that bullshit. That's a horrible shot.
How many days a week and how long are you in the gym with the ball?
When I'm super locked in, I'm in there 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Saturday is a recovery day where I do absolutely nothing. Sunday is more of a now starting to get the body work done and get my mind ready for the long week again. I try to on Saturday just kind of get away from it. Summertime, just get away from it. Whatever it is. But 5 days a week, I'm in there, and it's usually like Monday is Monday is usually the toughest day. You know, obviously you're coming off the weekend, 2-day weekend. It's usually the most, strenuous day. Tuesday has a lot of running, but a lot of just catching, shooting, getting your legs back under you, and then hump day is Wednesday. Hump day is Wednesday.
That's a
Once you
steal,
get over
bro.
that Wednesday, the rest of the week is pretty. That
Ah,
middle of the week is
Yeah,
always
the body's now
challenging.
caught up a little bit. If you can get through it.
Oh
Yeah,
my God,
so
he missed
I'm
that.
trying
What
to
the
go 5
fuck?
days a week once I'm locked in for like 8 to 10 weeks coming into the season.
And are you doing manual therapy, physio before every session?
Yeah. I'm getting there. I usually lift 3 days out of the week where I'm like in the weight room lifting, and then the other 2 days I'm just doing like the ball work, band work, just
Mobility,
kind of mobility
stability.
stuff. Yeah, exactly.
That's one thing I think like is changed from the start of my career for sure, but probably started your career too. Now it's like you have to. I believe you have to be religious with the mobility, stability stuff because the way our game's played, and today it's even faster, guarding in more space, the travel, like you have to stay on top of that stuff.
Like, he just really did that bullshit,
Everybody
bro.
was like this.
Rewarded
Like,
him
who
for
can
that
lift
shit,
the most
man.
weights? Who was the strongest? That's the only way you can play. And that's the narrative with
Thankfully for me, it changed. I wasn't gonna outlive
Well,
anything.
those motherfuckers that look like this realized they couldn't keep up with your ass. That's why it changed. You helped change it. So
I remember coming to the league and like being shocked at like how strong like Derek Harbour was.
Yeah.
Like picking me up full court and like you
so you can grab.
You just grabbed me by the hip and I was like.
When Sam Hauser comes in,
how
I'm
am I
fucking
gonna break
attacked.
through this? And so like of course you adapt, you learn, but like the game's come so far from like you said the two bigs, the clutching, grabbing, chucking, the hand checking up the court, like man, it was stodgy back then.
Right, yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
That's the thing. Like we'll get to this later in the series, but like talk around sometimes, some people aren't as happy.
Like, just jump.
We don't teach fans like how great the game is now.
Yeah.
Like it's not going back to that. Right. It's a lot of nostalgia. There's other factors, but like the game is great enough to teach people to appreciate.
Yeah, we just need to. I think have an appreciation, and I think if our fans will really go back and watch some of those games, they will realize then maybe that's not something we would want to see on a night-to-night basis. Because the difference between our game now is that all of our games are on television every single day, either nationally, locally, or through League Pass. So you can watch all of our games. In the 80s and the 90s, you may be able to catch one game if you had it locally. If your team had a local broadcast deal, you could catch it. And if not, then you may not see a game for a long time.
That was a wrong shot. I did not try to do that shot.
Yeah, NBC broadcast. Maybe once every couple, you maybe catch 1 or 2 games, every other week. So, I think the nostalgia of the game, I think it's just a deeper conversation of why we should appreciate and celebrate our game of basketball today, our athletes of today. Just like, the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s guys were celebrated and 2000 guys were celebrated. So it's definitely a conversation we get to later.
We'll get to that. I'm excited about that for sure. But how about this? At what point in the summer are you like, I want to get in game shape? And how do you, is it like September? Is it in training camp? You prep to get there in training camp? How do you do that?
Well, we both can tell everyone out there, there's no way to get in game shape in the off season.
Right. No.
But what you can do is get in the best optimal shape leading up to the and then
the
step before. Because nobody can come into training camp and say, I'm in game shape. It just doesn't happen. So, I try to get into the best shape I could possibly be in leading into September. So, when it gets to about, after the first week of August, I start then to now start to like push, a little bit. I start ramping it up. I start ramping it up. So every week I ramp it up a little bit more, ramp up the intensity, ramp up, the conditioning portions. I start knowing when I'm getting in better shape when I don't need as many breaks for water. Right. That's kind of like my gauge.
Okay, I'm fitter this week.
Yeah. Like, like if I'm doing a 45-minute court workout and every 5 to 7 minutes, through that 45 minutes of getting a drink of water, I'm like, okay, I gotta get better. Okay, then the next week it's like every 3 to 5 minutes, and then it's 2 to 4 minutes, and then it's 1 to 2 minutes, and then it gets to a point where I've only needed 1 break in 45 minutes. That's when I know, like, okay, I'm in a really good pace.
And maybe you could explain through the stages of your career, but like, when do you start playing? And like, what, like in your first third of your career, first 7 years, how much did you? When did you start playing?
Oh, like on 505?
Yeah.
Oh, I used to play. I mean, probably my first. Probably my first 12, 14 years, I played all through the summer. I mean,
because you love to hoop.
I just love to hoop. Yeah. Like I used to play outdoors. I played outdoor basketball as a pro. I had no idea how bad that was for me, but I was like, I fucking love ball. Like me and my friend, I go back home in the summertime. Back in Akron. So obviously I played for the Cavs, but I would be back in Akron. Me and my best friends, they come back from college. We get a group. We'd be playing outside. Like Like it was nothing. The sun is beaming off the top.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. Like when I was at like my prime of my career, like even like first 3-4 years in Phoenix, in the summer, go to the facility, do all your work, play, whatever. I always wanted to shoot again.
Yeah.
So I always tried to shoot again. Like just how efficient can I be? So in Phoenix, it's 110, 115 degrees. I would go to the park, sometimes the driveway, but I would go to like a random park because no one's gonna be there.
Right. No, not at 115.
Yeah, right. Back then the iPod, you know what I mean? And like make 200 shots, no rebounder, just out there because I would get my own rebounds, conditioning. It's hot. It's funny you said that. Like, did you ever have like, was like fans showing up when you were playing?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So you had to kind of like be smart about it.
Yeah, we had to be smart about it. Yeah, for sure. We had to be very smart about it. And then I got very smart and kind of.
Bro, you can apply this shit to like anything in life.
In Akron. And
you can apply getting shots up to anything in life, bro.
And my best friends, and we had runs in the backyard, like on the blacktop. It's like,
And then, like, say the last
it takes a lot of fucking time
for the season, or do you like
not as much
to get to that level in life, bro.
Just the wear and tear.
Yeah, just the wear and tear and the risk. Especially like if I do it early in the season, early in the off season, then
no matter what you do, bro,
if anything was to
happen,
happen, I have the ability to recover. But then it's like but my body's still recovering early in the summer. And then it gets to the point where like late August hits, and I'm like, do I want to risk? I've trained my body. I know where I'm at. I know I'm physically fit and ready to go into training camp. Do I really want to risk it? So every now and then, during the workouts,
who are
like,
you guarding?
Play,
You're guarding Grayson Allen,
or compete versus the coaches that's there. Get that kind of get some live reps with the coaches. They bump you off screens or they bump you in the post and things of that nature. So yeah, but I haven't played as much 5-on-5 over the last few years.
So that first 2-3 weeks of preseason is your time to adapt to the demands of playing, to feel the bumps and bruises, get the wind there,
from here, from low back all the way down, you're cooked.
Yep.
Yeah, you're
like
cooked.
an adaptation process you have to go through. There's no cheating it. No matter how fit you are, no
matter
my bad.
No matter. That's when you know it's working. That's when you know it's working. When you can't feel anything from here all the way down, and you're like, oh my God, I can't. Like you're like, I hate getting out of shape. It's like, but I wonder how other people feel that hasn't done anything. So it's like, you just try to stay tapped in.
Yeah, you got to go through that because you can't do it 12 months a year. Right? So you have to get out and get back in, to build up smart, especially as you get in your 30s, late 30s.
Yeah, for sure, 40. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's shift to the season then. Like maybe I'm always curious about this, and it's pretty common. I think fans probably know this now. Like they always say in the NBA, you got to have a routine, right? Because you play so many games in different cities, different gyms, like patterns, sleep patterns, all that. So making sure you have a routine kind of just keeps you accountable. So you're not like making it up as you go along. And it's definitely for me, I would say like the top 20 guys, like 19 of them are like religious, if not 20, about their routine, about what shots they need, all the prep, recovery, diet, sleep, all that stuff. How do you approach? I'd love to start with a practice day and then a game day. So like, what does your day look like? How do you manage it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for a practice day, we're practicing at 11.
They're hooping.
Like to get to the facility.
They are hooping.
Right around 8:30, to start my work.
I'm good though. I'm good.
I don't eat until after practice.
After practice, so hydrate.
So I'm hydrating. I have like either like a green juice or some fruit or whatever the case may be. But I don't eat a full meal until I get back home after practice.
Oh my God, they're locking my shit up, bro. What the fuck?
2 o'clock.
And by design, or you just don't like eating?
By design.
So
by design.
A little bit of a fasting quality.
Yeah, a little bit of fasting quality. Yeah, by design.
And are you taking supplements?
Yeah.
Creatine?
No creatine. No, just natural. Everyday vitamins, things of that nature. Yeah.
Just a little protocol.
Yep. If I have anything after practice, I have like a fruit smoothie. I have a fruit smoothie.
That was a bad start.
Yep. So I get there, and I usually get dressed and go to the weight room. I'm usually in the
that
weight
was a
room
bad start. I'm not gonna lie, Book. You might have to play the
different days. Different days. If we have a couple days in between,
fourth quarter. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I like to lift on game day as well. So I'll go to the weight room and then
your lifting schedule.
I'm not even gonna lie to you, Mr. Booker.
The day, like, what have I done?
What have I done? Yes, what have I
only
done?
got 12.
Like for this week. So say for instance for this week, today we had a day off. So this morning was predicated on all rehabbing, body work, things of that nature.
You can make that.
So I didn't know strengthening, whatever the case may be. Tomorrow we have a game. I'll go in early and I'll get a lift in before, and then right after I lift, I'll shoot. Early, 3-4 hours, about 5 hours before the game starts. Because it's a back-to-back on Friday, I probably going to lift that day with more of a recovery work and then a little bit of shooting as well, just to prep me for the game. So yeah, I have schedules depending on how the games are flowing throughout the season. Right. That's routine with the schedule.
And but you go in the gym almost every day to do activation, mobility stimulation, every day, non-negotiable.
Yeah, non-negotiable.
For sure, same. And then like, and this is probably a little bit of a summer question, but in the season, do you break it up into like a strength block, a power day? Like, do you break it up in like,
No, I do a little bit of that.
Total body type stuff, maintenance.
Yeah, maintenance, total body.
In the summer, do you break it up? Like,
in the summer I break it up because the difference between like obviously you would know like you like to break it up in the summer because you don't want to get
Right.
stale.
3 months of
for
the
3
same
months you're doing the same shit.
Yeah,
So you definitely break it up on purpose,
Yep.
so you don't get tired of the same
And
routine.
also, they can target in on a specific thing.
Yeah,
Like, today we're
exactly.
working on power, today we're working on strength, whatever it may
exactly.
be.
Like, so for during the season, it's kind of the same,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit. It
Maintenance.
changes, but it's the same routine because it's a cadence.
Yeah.
I know my body is going to react well to it. No matter what I'm doing, my body is formed and it knows exactly how it's going to get the most out of it for those games.
Right. And like the demands,
Yeah.
make it almost impossible to get gains anyway. So if you break it up too much, like of course you have to touch on these things, but you can do that in a total body workout where you touch on it for maintenance rather than focus in on like plyometric stuff, so that's interesting. And then
for sure.
game days, maybe give me the rundown on game, or let me go back to practice days. What are your preferred recovery
Oh
methods?
my God, my arms are fucking like noodles, dog.
Hyperbaric, cryo, use them all?
It could be all of those on a day, and I try to maximize as much as I can. If it's a practice day, I try to get the massage in, the cold tub in, we have the Normatec legs, to the compression unit, the ice bags. I try to get it all in. Yeah. Plus a nap.
Yep.
When I get home after practice, the most important, get a nap in. When I wake up, I'll either, depending on how my body's feeling, I can have some things at home where I can put my foot in the foot bath, knees, everything. I'm trying to maximize how can I be to optimal shape and game ready for the next day. I'm always thinking about the next day.
You're obsessed.
Yeah.
I love it. You're obsessed. I feel. This is kindred spirits in that way because you want to leave no stone unturned for a performance.
Why? It's all there for us. It's all there for us. And I have the luxury of having.
I could have shot that.
And help around the household to where they allow me to be able to use all my time while I'm playing the game. And listen, I know when I'm done playing the game, that time will be priority number one. Will be my wife. It will be my wife, my kids. And I just thank them for allowing me to have me as priority number one while I've had this profession. They've allowed me to do that. And I know it's not always been like great roses and been amazing, but they've allowed me to make myself priority number one in my profession of how I treat my body, how I do things, how the hours that I put into it in order to be the best I can be.
All that.
And I have to. It's only right I give that back on.
But it doesn't work otherwise, right? Like
right.
You have.
It doesn't.
Not if you want to be amazing. Not if you want to be great.
If you want to be great, or you want to keep playing.
Or you want to keep
playing, right?
Yeah.
You want to extend your career beyond where you're supposed to play. That balance, like how you handle the stability of home life, but you have to be selfish.
Yeah.
Right. So the family has to understand. Like selfish is the wrong word. Committed.
Yeah.
I'm committed to my craft, my career, but that family stability gives you a platform, right? We're not worried, like we're good over here.
Right.
I can go to work and do things.
It's definitely it's work wonders, man. It's been amazing. I've picked the right woman, and the kids have come along and they've accepted the fact that what I wanted to accomplish.
Are you fucking serious right now, bro?
To them when I have the ability and do the things that I can as a father, but I've always wanted to be. I've always wanted to be as great as I could be. I never knew what it was I never knew what it looked like, but I knew my craft and I knew my passion for wanting to be great. I didn't know what the end result was. And that goes
what
back to
the?
What we first talked about when we first started this was the process.
Right.
I knew I was in love with the process, and I didn't know what I was going to get out of the process. But all I've seen as I've grown up and when I've played the game of basketball, that when I fell in love with the process, rewards was at the end of it. And I've never worried about it. Was never the other way around. It was never the rewards are at the end of the tunnel, and then I worry about the process. It was always about the process.
Oh my God.
The reward was the process.
Yeah. It's a great example of your family.
Yeah.
The way you've been able to manage both. Your family's helped you build a platform to strive for greatness.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's just, that's, I think, one of the greatest parts about your career is not like the Wikipedia page, right? It's like the way you've done
It's
it.
like I can't even breathe, dog.
You made a couple, I don't know, like you've done so much so long.
It's like I can't even breathe with these motherfuckers garbage, man.
So that's kudos to you and your wonderful wife and family. Your kids represent the family incredibly well too. Let me ask you this: game days. You're there so early. Like this is year 22. You're there how many hours before the game?
5.
5 hours before the game. Like that type of. First of all, I think you're crazy. Like,
I'm about to be giving up all types of back doors.
So I could get
oh
there
my God.
and be like, bop, 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 like total efficiency.
That's all. Come on now. Thank you. Bro.
What is your frame of mind? Like, I want to be there all day, basically.
I want to give myself the time to prepare how I know I would like to prepare to get ready for match. And what I do is all my time is there's no fast. There's no fucking time once I get to the arena. I get there 5 hours before. As soon as I get there, I put my workout gear on, I go right to the weight room. As soon as I leave the weight room, I go to the court, get workout. As soon as I leave the court, I go get body work and make sure that my body's moving and doing those things with my body. As soon as that is done, you know, I head in and put the Normatex and the ice and all that stuff on and recover from that. As soon as that is done, now I'm reading the scouting report, like, and I'm, you know, tapping into that. Pretty much when that is done, now JJ's coming into the locker room and he's addressing the team, and it's time to go. Like that is, and I have a little meal in there too. I'm eating. I have a little meal, a couple snacks there within there. Obviously, I want to keep the, you know, keep my nutrition going, and I have to fuel the body because I know what I'm about to do out on the floor. But
of course, he pumps fakes it and pulls up for a midi, like
all intent and purpose.
Yeah.
See, like
it's all intent and
I had to
purpose.
get away.
Yeah.
So I was the opposite. Like I wanted to be there.
Like, what's up with these CPUs doing the right thing? I can't just make a mistake.
Shots, taped.
Yeah, go.
Coach is walking in. Like I wanted to be like, because you know we play so many games. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
Wasted energy. I think maybe that's one thing that I.
Y'all can't just make a mistake every once in a while, like, you know, just shoot the ball with somebody right in your face. Why you got to pump fake?
I can see that. I can see that.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'm getting to the. I have not gotten there obviously because I'm still doing it, but there are times I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, I'm glad you in Portland. You were like, let me hit the alarm again.
I had no control over that. This body took over me. It was like, I'm not letting you out of this thing. But there are times. I mean, I can see for sure. I mean, I'm 40 years old. I've been in this thing for 22 years. So like, you know, I definitely feel and see it, sense it. Sometimes when I leave the house at like 1 o'clock, game's at 7:30, and I'm pulling up to the arena, pulling down in the tunnel at 2:15 in the afternoon for a 7:30 game. I'm like, all right, let's get to work.
Incredible coming in. Okay, post game, like, how dialed are you on nutrition? Are you like I have a plan for nutrition at all times? Are you like 80%? I'm like cheat mode. Like, how do you
get a stop, bro? I literally can't get a stop. Like, it's quite literal.
No, I'm pretty locked in on the nutrition side. You know, when it comes to what I put in my body is what I'm gonna get out of it. You know, and obviously,
like, how is he getting that much?
Like, I fucking love trying to get this ice cream. And since I love ice cream, I have to get like the dairy-free ice cream and the low-fat, you know, the non-gluten-free cookie. Like I have to kind of cheat it that way.
Yeah, me too.
But I love it. I love it. That's like my vice. I love it. So you know, you have to know, like, you know, you play on these games.
Does your family think you're crazy for that? Like when I go in the fridge and get myself like a yogurt popsicle, and my kids are like, "That's disgusting."
At this point, they've accepted me for who I am. So yes, they early on. There's literally, you can go in my freezer and there's like 3 different cartons of ice cream in there. There's like one. There's like when my daughter goes in there, she gets her vanilla bean ice cream. It's like extra creamery. I'll be looking at it like, damn.
Bro, what?
Oh my goodness, that's so good. And then mine over there is like, oh, you know, dairy free and no all that stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, just give me that. But yeah, I'm pretty dialed in on it. And obviously, like I said, you know, the road and being home, you know, is, you know, it fluctuates a little bit. But you know, obviously, you know, you're starting to in order to be ready for the next game or the road, whatever it is, it starts right after the game ends and you sit down, you know. So I'm getting right to the ice and I'm getting right to, you know, nutrition and getting fluids back into me because I need to start preparing for the next game. So it's funny. A lot of people like see me like walking off the court, you know, when there's like time left in the game.
Right.
Like no matter if it's a loss or a win. The reason I'm trying to get to the locker room so I can start.
I think I saw a clip from last night.
Yeah. The game was a wrap.
It's hungry.
I got to get to the locker room to start my process to get ready for the next game.
That's
so
amazing.
I'll be sitting in the locker room, put on an ice bags on. I got my smoothie and my fruit, and I'm already getting to it right now. So like,
that's amazing. Like people will probably see you leave the court and be like, "No, damn, he's, you know."
Yo, it was funny when during the loss they was like, "Oh, he's a poor sport." He's leaving the court and they lost, and then they start seeing me do it during the wins. They was like, "Well, he's no sportsmanship."
That's a great thing for fans to know. Like that's how dialed you are in your process. Is like, I cannot wait for the next step in the process. You're not sitting there ready to like chest bump at the buzzer. Like, let me get this top.
Let's get this done. Let's get going.
That's amazing. I mean, I appreciate it. I was someone that tried to always look for every advantage. You know, I probably wasn't gonna beat anyone in a race, a jumping contest, a lifting. You know, so I always look for like to learn. So like the amount of time, resources, commitment to your body, your craft, I think is incredible.
I mean, listen, from the outside looking in, like you said, we never had any conversations about it, but what you was able to do with your career, like you said, you wasn't the fastest, you wasn't the strongest, you wasn't the tallest, and you sitting with 2 MVP trophies, you know, and being able to transcend a game of basketball, like what you did, you know, in Phoenix with D'Antoni and those guys. You guys brought a level of expertise to the game that's still now being played. You know, to get the ball up like right away. You know, like we're not wasting no time. You know, and being able to play with the pass, being infectious, things of that nature, and you being a catapult to that because of your level of commitment to your craft. I don't think that's talked about enough in our sport. What's talked about is how high you can jump, how far you can shoot, all these other, how strong you are. But I think what gets overlooked is the level of commitment to one's craft, and that is why you're able to succeed. Because we've seen in sports, we've seen the strongest guys don't make it. We've seen the most athletic guys don't make it. We've seen the guys with the best looking shot don't make it. We've seen the guys with the greatest handles don't make it. What is it that separates? What is it that separates? Obviously, opportunity sometimes has something to do with it. Obviously, circumstances have something to do with it. But there's something about the level of the process when it comes to your craft.
Right.
And I don't think that's ever talked about enough, when it comes to our sport.
That's an interesting topic, actually. Like,
sports in general.
Yeah. What are the non-negotiable? Like, what are the themes of greatness? Like, like you said, just because you're the biggest, strongest, fastest doesn't make you great. Right? Like, to me, it's kind of like resilience, like intelligence. Like these are the characteristics, like discipline.
Yeah, discipline.
If you have the discipline to work in your craft, to get better every day, to always have a growth mindset. If you are able to read and react, able to learn on the fly, you can go places. Like, it doesn't matter how big. So that's the beauty of this process, sticking with it, hitting plateaus, not giving up.
And not having all the answers, or not thinking you know all the answers. Being able to have that growth mindset, even though you may be great now, how do you know it's going to be sustainable 5 years from now or 10 years from now? How can you continue to reinvent yourself to the point where, it gets to the point where it wasn't, your career didn't end 10 years ago because you gave up on the commitment of the process. And it's, by the way,
well, here we are again. Another loss for the Phoenix Suns.
I had more to give.
This might seem like uncharted territory, but it's not.
But that's something that you can't control. That's something certain people can't control, and that's okay. But how can you sleep better at night when you know that you
this shit's crazy,
or you didn't give everything that you had when you had all the opportunities to?
This shit's crazy.
That's the thing that I knew for sure that I did not want to be a part of that conversation. Because I knew I had.
You can't make this shit up, bro.
I saw I had the gifts. I knew I had the gifts. People were saying I had the gifts. I mean, I guess they know something has to be going right. But in order for me to actually fulfill my commitment and my gifts and fulfill what I think I can become, I have to be able to tap into the process and lock in on that.
I think that's an amazing message.
It looks like the Phoenix Suns are just giving up now.
Doubt you maximize your gifts. As prodigious as your gifts have been, as early as you were touted as a great, there's a long road to start your gifts. Your process is what got you there, not your gifts. And so that's a great message and a great example for a lot of people out there in sport, without sport, all that. So I appreciate it. It's fun to hear about it.
I appreciate you.
Explore hand-picked hotels through the edit and unlock upgraded stays with Chase Sapphire Reserve. Make more of what's yours.
We start our show with breaking news. The Nuggets, they fired Michael Malone, the winningest coach in franchise history, our Shams Charania reports. They also fired general manager Calvin Booth, who took over the role 3 years ago. This was Malone's 10th season with the Nuggets. Since the All-Star break, the team has gone 11-13. They're 20th in defense this year, but days before the playoffs, this really is a shocking dismissal. And Josh Kroenke, the owner of the Denver Nuggets, he released this statement just moments ago. He says, "It's with no pleasure that we announced we've relieved Michael Malone of his coaching duties effective immediately." He does say that David Adelman
there's got to be some shit behind the scenes, bro.
Role for the remainder of the 2024-25 season. Championship level standards, he continues, and expectations, they remain in place for this current season as we look to the future. We will look forward to building on the foundations laid
less
by
than a
Coach
week
Michael
before the
Malone
playoffs, though?
over his record-breaking 10-year career in Denver. I use the word shocking. Really, this is stunning. Our senior insider, Shams Charania, here to help us understand what went into this decision here. Shams, why did the Nuggets fire Michael Malone now?
Malika, the way the season was going, 4 straight losses in a row, and just what has gone on the last couple of years with what's been described to me as a Cold War between Michael Malone and Calvin Booth, the Nuggets believed that something needed to change. Now, they were likely going to dismiss one or the other come the offseason. So Josh Kroenke and the Nuggets decided to just get it over with now, seeing how the team is performing. But listen, everyone was shocked by the timing of this. That includes Michael Malone, Calvin Booth themselves. The players, I'm told, had a meeting where Josh Kroenke addressed them after the dismissal. He decided to flip the culture, didn't want to wait. He wanted to inject some life into this team going into the playoffs, because this is a team that, like you said, has struggled a little bit the second half of the year. They've dropped in defensive rating. But Michael Malone, this is stunning for him because he's the winningest coach in Denver Nuggets franchise history. He just led them to a championship in 2023. This is tied to the latest coaching change ever made. And it's one that probably would have happened in 2023, Malika, if he had not won the championship just based on circumstances with him and Calvin Booth. But now that he's fired after 10 years, it's certainly stunning for the Nuggets, something that this roster is now going to have to deal with and recover from.
Yeah, Sean, so just 3 games remaining. I'm hearing from folks close to Michael Malone now in real time that they just feel that this timing is disrespectful with this proximity to the postseason. As we bring in Brian Windhorst, Kendrick Perkins. Brian, I'm going to start with you here. Just your reaction to both Malone and Booth's dismissal.
Yeah, so Sean's described it as a Cold War. That's absolutely true. You know, let me just say that for the decade, you know, Michael Malone has always preferred to play better.
Send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. KP, you guys got out on a break tonight. How did you get into transition so easily?
Yeah, we want to play faster, and that's what we try to do whenever they miss. We try to run, move the ball quick, and get easy buckets.
And you were able to beat him down the floor tonight, KP. Thanks a lot for your time. Kevin, back to you.
Play them, and that was an issue. But that has been an issue between executives and coaches for decades. It will be decades more. I mean, the team was ultimately successful. Same goes with Michael Malone with players. Michael Malone, you know, was very rough on his players. He screamed at his players. He called rage timeouts. He would yell at them in film sessions. He would yell at them in the locker room. He would yell at them in huddles. Their players all got tired of it over the course of time. Why it would be any different now when they're on this 4-game losing streak as opposed to 5 years ago, to 5 weeks ago? I can't answer that. What I can tell you is with Calvin Booth, his contract was up at the end of this season. He had negotiations throughout the year, before the year, and going into the year with management, with ownership. Those talks broke down. And so it was kind of known within the league that there was a chance that Calvin Booth was not going to be retained. The Nuggets, over the last couple of decades, under owner Stan Kroenke, have repeatedly not retained management. But it is most like the Kroenke family, Stan and Josh, who own many teams across the globe, to be patient. That you wouldn't do this with a coach, especially the winningest coach in team history. So we'll hear more, I'm sure, from the Kroenkes. The fact that there was a breakup between the GM and coach isn't surprising. That it would involve Malone too is not maybe jaw-dropping at the end of the season. As you mentioned, it happening now is not what we would have ever foreseen.
I appreciate all of that context, and then my mind goes to, okay, Nikola Jokic, right, the league MVP many times over. He's only had one coach in his NBA career, and it is Michael Malone. Perk, your reaction to this?
Well, he's about to have 2 coaches, and guess what? I'm actually not surprised. Here's why. Okay, we all know from watching this past season that it was trending towards this direction for us, Michael Malone. He's been lost the ears of this locker room. We have been seeing the frustration in Nikola Jokic. I always say, if you want to see how a team feels about their coach, watch their effort and watch them defensively. How many times has Michael Malone had to call his team out for not competing at a high level on the defensive side of things? And now all of a sudden you're looking at Calvin Booth and him being fired. Well, guess what? You got Nikola Jokic, a generational talent, the most skilled big to ever play the game of basketball, a guy that is knocking at the door of being a top 5 center of all time. Guess what? Over this past week or so, he's had a 60-point triple-double. He's had a 40-point triple-double, and a few other triple-doubles that has came in results of L's. So with that being said, you have to every single year, every single minute, find how to put the necessary pieces around your best player. We saw it happen with LeBron James his entire career. GMs were always under pressure of how can we better the roster to make sure that he has the best chance of winning the title. We're witnessing it. We witnessed it with Giannis Antetokounmpo. We witnessed it right now today with Steph Curry. Right, they go out and get Jimmy Butler again. I'm not surprised, especially in today's game. And this year, when we have witnessed Luka Doncic being traded, we have witnessed Taylor Jenkins being fired, and so now it's Michael Malone. And by the way, Shams, you are on a legendary run, damn it. I ain't gonna even lie. Damn it, this is impressive.
We thought Taylor Jenkins getting fired was surprising, though. This takes the cake because, like Malika just said, for a championship coach to get fired this late into regular season, this is tied for the latest firing ever in NBA calendar, but never has it happened like this for a team that's in 4th place. He just won a championship 2 years ago, and he's someone now, when you think about the coaching market, Taylor Jenkins and Michael Malone are now infused into a market where I would expect there to be, guys, a lot of activity these next few weeks. But for the Nuggets' perspective now, David Adelman will be their interim head coach. They feel very good about him moving forward, but what message does that give this group as far as what they're going to compete for, what they're going to contend for? There's a lot of questions in Denver coming up, and I would expect some real questions around not only the coaching position, but also who's going to manage this roster long term.
For anyone who wants a little bit more information on David Adelman, Shams, who will be the interim head coach, as you reported, of the Denver Nuggets, here you go.
Damn, Book played 71 games this year.
He has been an assistant coach with the Nuggets since 2017. He was with the Magic before then. As we've all hit on, it's really the proximity to the playoffs, though, that makes this so firing, right? It's so shocking. There's just 6 days left in the regular season. It appears as if the Nuggets are 4th in the West, but when you look at the loss column, Brian, it's actually a little bit deceiving. You laid this out so very well. Can you just one more time reiterate why they're in such a tenuous
spot? Again, if you look at everybody who's got 32 losses, the Nuggets have one more win, but they can't control the loss column. You can't get rid of a loss. You can obviously add wins, but so when you compute them into that tie, make it a 5-way tie, they are 7th. So right now, the reality is they're pretty much facing being in the play-in, which is stunning and not acceptable. And they have to go to the Kings tomorrow. That is a team fighting for its playoff position. That's a road game. And then they, on Friday, have a really huge game with the Memphis Grizzlies, which, quite frankly, whoever wins that game may determine whether one of them is in the play-in and one of them is in the playoffs. So that's a huge game. And then they close the season with the Rockets. I don't know how much that will be important to Houston. Houston's about to clinch the 2 seed.
Sure.
But these are 3 very challenging games against teams in front of them. And I will say this, David Adelman has interviewed for other head coaching jobs. He is probably destined to be a head coach in the NBA, whether he remains a head coach here or not. He actually has an opportunity here to lift this team up. And I'll give Perk credit. Perk yesterday was calling out the way the Nuggets were reacting on Sunday, their lackadaisical and lethargic defense. And maybe the ownership saw what Perk was talking about in making this choice.
4 straight losses, speaking of that, and of course we need to mention that Jamal Murray has missed the last 5 games, and we do not know right now when he is exactly coming back. But Perk, what have you seen from their play that sort of led you to say, okay,